Hello everybody. I hope that everybody who wanted already joined us. I'm very happy to see you all here as we will be discussing the next chapter of short drama from growth to sustainable business. My name is Anna Butuzova. I'm coming from Braavo Capital. For those of you who may not know about Braavo, we provide various financial instruments for mobile growth, such as acceleration of user acquisition, improving cash flow, and such instruments that can help you scale sustainably. I'm very happy to be presented here today, as I was actually observing the market of short drama from very different perspectives. Previously, I was working a lot at media and animation industry. At every content market I went, everybody was discussing short drama like already 2 and 3 years ago. And I'm very happy to see that today it is all not only like the content that is really booming, that is conquering the audience, that is attracting more and more viewers, but it is a whole new category in app market that is showing very great numbers and great results. We're lucky today to be with very fresh data from Sensor Tower latest report. And according to these numbers, actually in Q1 2026, we could already see around 850 million downloads for the category, which is showing the growth of 140% for year-over-year. Speaking about money, the category is also generating very big revenue, and for Q1, it is around 750 million for just in-app purchases. And with these numbers, we are very lucky to see that at the end of the year, like the whole category will earn up to 3 billion annually. And this is just like crazy for me. Actually, yeah, the category is developing very fast. The market is developing fast, and we have already seen like different chapters. So the first chapter was about finding the right content that would be interesting for the audience. The second chapter was more about scaling, finding the ways to acquire users, to get new viewers, and etc. And now we're entering a completely new chapter about building a fully sustainable business. I'm very lucky today to be with brilliant people, with really leaders from the industry, and I would be very happy to give the words to the speakers to present themselves, and then we will on. Pankaj, I suppose you may start.
Sure. Hi, Anna. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your time for this webinar. Uh, just to introduce ourselves, we are Social Pita. We are basically an ad intelligence platform. We are into this business for more than last 10 years. Recently, we have realized and also witnessed now that microdrama is really booming. We were those early companies who actually believed in this category, and we have developed our tool around the microdrama that can basically help the specific advertisers who are into the microdramas. Though, like we have some other offerings for all the apps and web developers who are doing their paid campaigns. Today, we are here to talk about specifically to microdramas. So I would also love to understand you guys, what are your experiences, and I think it will be a great learning experience for all of us. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Let's move forward and give the word to Guillaume.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for invitation, and please excuse me for my French accent. So I really hope you will understand me today. My name is Guillaume Sanjorge. I am producer and the founder of Duanju News. Since 2023, I have been working on fiction made for mobile phones, and I have produced several series in this format. When I entered this industry, I also followed the success of Duanju in China. I use the word Duanju because it is the term used in China. China created this format and developed the main business model that made it profitable. I created Duanju News because this format needed to be better understood in Europe and around the world. Through this platform, I follow production, distribution, and monetization trends across many countries. We also speak in the media in French and internationally. We take part of conferences and festivals, and we distribute our own series on different platforms. I am very happy to be part of this discussion today.
Merci beaucoup. Okay, we're ready to move forward to Sanouf. Here, Sanouf, please tell about yourself.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for the invitation, guys, first of all. So, myself, Sanuv, I previously worked in Cuckoo, like from 2020, starting onwards, I was there in Cuckoo. Like recently only, I started my own company, which is House of Frames, which is not yet publicly we disclosed. Like, I think this is the first time in social beta we are announcing that the company name is House of Frames. We already started working with a lot of global and Indian players in microdrama and other like fiction and non-fiction content platforms. It's been a very good journey so far, and I would like to share my learnings across what we built it in India and what we are scaling in India and all those things. Yeah, looking forward to discuss further.
Great. Thanks a lot for the introduction. And let's move on to Ilhan.
So, hello, thank you for the invitation. I'm İlhan Doruk Önel, founder of Dukkan, and a creative producer with an international relations background. Previously worked in US Embassy and UNDP. Finding similarities when it comes to high stress situations between politics and film sets. We are a creative agency and a production company that works with brands like Ford, Fashion Week, Samsung, and Netflix, acting as a creative agency for Netflix and Samsung for 2.5 years. And for the past 2 years, focusing on vertical series, developing our own IPs and doing service productions with a proud 25 vertical series catalog in 2 years, which you can find it on Drama Pops. Producing both in Istanbul and with international co-production partners mainly. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So I believe now everybody can understand that we have like a very, very strong team to speak today about short drama. And let's start with the first, so to say, ice-breaking question, just to see like the perspective of everybody of the new tendencies of how the market is evolving. So, as the short drama industry moves from rapid expansion to a more competitive phase, what is the single most important change that will define the next chapter of growth? So, Sanuf, I see that you're unmuted.
So I can tell you it's been I guess internationally this microdrama, the term vertical drama, microdrama, which is spread across the geographies from last 1.5 years, I would say, because it started from China and it's emerged in multiple market and it's become one of the most prominent area where like a lot of investors also focusing right now. But the shift is very fast, I would say, similar to the episodic shift happening in microdrama itself, because there is a time where like multiple platforms try to replicate same kind of a content and try to bring the users to their platform, but this is now changing because all those content which is replicated from other content or other translated content which is now fading away and it started to become a kind of a unwanted content for the users. So the shift from the volume, the amount of volume they are producing in terms of a content and the traffic mainly focused content, which is like the major problem which all the microdrama platforms are facing nowadays is how they are creating the discovery of the shows for the users, because the platform itself is not having that much user base, so they are relying on Meta or Google or whatever the way they can bring the users to the platform. So the content they created is now entirely is a waste of money right now for a lot of platform. Now they're shifting into AI based production or the content which they can develop in a way like the fast paced new developed IPs also they are exploring. So the shift from that kind of like I would say a TikTok era kind of content to the proper like ideal content which specifically crafted for a set of users. Maybe that users the consumption pattern or the way they are consuming the content might be varying from each geography, but the microdrama also facing that kind of evolution. That is where the new shift happening in terms of the content strategy and the discovery and other platforms, and all those marketing scope and everything is also improving. It's now following a trend of how these OTT platforms emerged as a key winner, like apart from the other like regional distributors or other movie platforms and others. So how that evolution happened, same is happening for microdrama. So that is the shift I am eagerly looking after, because the AI-based microdramas are very crazily exploring, and a lot of new dramas are creating that human face or human touch. That feel is there. So this is the mix of human based and AI production will be the new shift, I would say, in microdrama industry, which is happening very fastly, and that is very true and evident. I guess a lot of you already can explore that further. Yeah, that's it,
Yeah.
Anna.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I truly agree here, and I do believe that content is a king. And actually, I believe like in the next year or two, we'll be very, very actively seeing what would be actually dominating on the market. So let's move to Ilhan. So, what is the single most important change in your opinion?
Well, I have a combined answer. I'm finding very hard to say one single thing about turning this into a sustainable industry. But um, I would like to underline something first, that this is a library business. This is not only one IP thing. So and apps, I look at the apps and the platforms as a curation library. And I think the approach should, in order to stabilize the sustainable growth from the booming era of short drama, is to have mainly direct distribution, well-curated libraries, and balancing marketing strategies when it comes to paid and organic growth. So not only paid acquisitions and ad uh, ad-based marketing strategies. It should be around the creators at the same time, and how they market themselves, who creates it, who are the actors and actresses in the series at the same time. Because I believe most of the people in this panel are following the fan pages at the same time, that is actually driving communities around short drama right now. And with that, the main thing is that whether one IP is going to be successful or not is that whether the curated library is going to be successful or not. So I believe the biggest change to stabilize and have a more sustainable growth in this industry right now after the boom is to have mainly the direct distribution and a well-curated library.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, and let's move to Guillaume. So, what do you think about the single most important change?
Yes, the Duanju industry is growing very quickly. The success of China has encouraged many companies to develop its model in other markets, especially in the United States, growing. Today, the main challenge is user acquisition. Platforms need to attract viewers and keep them engaged. Most platforms rely heavily on data and audience analysis. But I believe the next phase will focus more on content quality. Viewers will be more willing to pay and especially to subscribe if they find better stories and stronger production. They need recognized title, strong words, and memorable characters. The company that succeed will be the one that build strong brands and memorable series. The future will not be only about growth and volume. It will also be about quality, originality, and audience loyalty. Viewer will return to an app because they want to follow their favorite characters. Yes, it's my opinion.
Okay. So thanks a lot. And Pankaj, what do you think? What would be
So,
your answer?
yeah, I agree with all of you guys. Very interestingly, like from our perspective, how we see any app in terms of microdrama. So the ad creatives for microdramas are kind of content from itself. So it's very interesting that how you use those creatives. I mean to attract the customers. So that is one point. So the user acquisition and uh, the monetization go hand in hand. I mean, these two parts. The first thing is the market that you are capturing or market that you are trying to capture. I mean that is one of the focus. And the problems can be different for different apps depending. I mean the time frame that they are into this business. Probably some segment leaders they already have achieved like millions of downloads. They probably do not care for new users who are downloading that much. Rather, they are probably thinking of people who are spending more time with like all episode D7, D30, or maybe if they have spent like time watching one entire series. I mean, do they retain for the next series? I mean, that is their pain point. So of course, like content is one of the biggest strategy, and it will always be because people are here for entertainment, and the choices can be different for different audiences. So maybe within the same platform, there's a group of people who are coming to watch specific uh, uh, element, probably romance. On the other hand, they have like huge number of people who are interested to see some other elements, kind of maybe revenge. So catering both of them without losing any of them. I mean, it is one of the big challenge for the apps, those who have been existing in the market for maybe like 3 or more years. For the new users, comparatively, they do not have to fight with the face for validation because they already know there is a huge market. Probably they can be more user acquisition oriented. At the same time, they can inspire from the better performing the genres which has been working for maybe some of the content leaders, and they can have their strategies around it. So I think problems can be different for different apps depending how new or how old they are. Uh, some apps can focus on specific categories, so they can have different problems. But uh, one common aspect for everything, keep the users retained as well as having new customers on board continuously. So I think this is the approach that we see going forward.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I also completely agree with you here. And now we actually have a very nice opportunity to go a little bit deeper and to ask some more specific questions to our speakers. And the first question would be to Guillaume. Yeah, so you are very active in terms of global drama market, global short drama market. So can you actually see the difference? Like, how would you assess the current stage of development actually in the European market? Do you see like, is there any difference between the companies that are already building a more sustainable business form comparing to somebody who are chasing a short-term growth? Will be very interesting to see your perspective here.
Yes. The European market is still at an early stage. Um, uh, China already has a mature industry. The United States benefits from major investment. Europe is still discovering this format. Most people do not know it yet, and business models are still evolving. In France, the media is starting to pay attention. New articles are published regularly, and I try to support its visibility. This situation also created opportunities. The biggest apps are still not very present in Europe. That gives us time to prepare and invest. Um, before stronger competition arrives. European companies can still adapt the format to local audiences. It is important to remember that Europe is not one single market. Each country has its own language, culture, and viewing habits. That work in one country may not work in another. Through Duanju News, I speak with producers, investors, distributors across Europe. Many are still exploring the best strategies. The company that succeed will be the one that build strong catalogs and control production costs. Very important. Then we also need to focus on distribution. Creating content is important. Reaching an audience is even more important. We are currently preparing a dedicated app, us, and a network of Duanju websites in different countries. We already own around 50 national or regional Duanju domains names, including Spain, Mexico, Japan, India, and several other markets. Our goal is to provide editorial content, highlight Duanju, and help viewers discover them. Even today, many people do not know where to find this type of content. One of the biggest challenges is Europe is visibility. In long term, the strongest companies will be the ones that build loyal audience and effective distribution channels. It's all.
Okay, here. So thanks a lot. And here I can actually see that European market has a lot of opportunities to grow faster and even bigger. And that is why we have a second question to Sanouf. So in a highly saturated content environment, how do you think European audiences differ from other regions in what makes a short drama truly engaging and memorable? So what do you think?
Yeah. So it's actually a nice question. Like to be honest, the core of the content, which is the theme we are presenting, or how the user is consuming that content, which is the major like player in terms of, I would say, like a major point in terms of a content need to be successful. So in a comparison with any other region, if you take Europe as an example, Europe has a much more culturally advanced level of understanding the content. So they have a very strong TV or theatrical presence, and they know the content evolution, how it happened, and how the content they're consuming also changed a lot rapidly. But currently, if you've seen that, the people demand more story-driven content rather than any unwanted TikTok style content. So that is where the demand for a proper content strategy coming in place for a market like Europe. Even for example, all of you might know the movie called Obsession, which has created a huge buzz around the world because the format is already familiar to everyone, but still they introduce a new variety of storytelling which attracted a lot of new users. Same is happening in Europe as well for short drama platforms, because whichever translated or adapted content which is being distributed or marketed in European region, it's not getting that much of appreciation comparing with any other developing country. So the term developing and developed is playing a crucial role in terms of the content strategy as well, because the developed country, the people over there is always prefer a content which make them relax, which make them spend their time wisely. But at the same time, the developing country or the countries which is already somewhere in terms of the per capita or any other terms is far behind from any other these countries, they demand more aspirational or more like a larger than the life kind of a stories. So that is where the differentiation for Europe region comes place. So the content, the amount of stories they are playing, or the authenticity of the story, or the way it's communicated, and the quality of the content, these are the things will plays a crucial role in European market comparing with any other region. Even I have an experience in personal experience where I tried to market one of the Indian content in European region, and we found out that the content is not working, not because of the way we create the content, because it's a kind of a content which is already available in European market by different players, because it's just an adapted story. At the same time, when we explored something new, when we tried one of the original shows which we target in European market, the market like UK, or I think mainly UK and the other region, it's actually worked for us, because the content which we try to sell there is an original content which is new to the user, which is something different from what they consume daily. So that kind of a content variety need to be in place in micro drama, and this is something I also discussed with one of my co-founder who is actually building a larger company right now from US. So this is something he also understood, and he also acknowledged that because already the content variety of content we explored a lot, the hidden identity or the love drama or CEO romance, everything is explored a lot. But at the same time, there is a huge gap in between, I would say like 90s, early 90s to 90/30, 90/40. This region or this particular time period based costume dramas will be one of the most consume content in the upcoming days, because the major platforms are also started exploring these kind of genres, because costume dramas working really well for Chinese region. So this is something European market also will adapt if that colonial era kind of a costumes introduced and that kind of a storytelling is happening in the same structural format of microdrama. So this is what I personally believe where like the European region is differ from the content consumption rather than any other players out there, and the quality is the major player here in along with the content strategy and what we are bringing to the users. So that's it, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So very interesting point of view, and actually, you're right. I do also agree with this. Yeah, but of course, European market is very interesting. And I believe like we have a lot to grow here. But if we move to Turkey, actually, this market has been already quite popular with all the short dramas that has been like appearing on this market, and a lot of viewers that are actually actively viewing this content. And so the question is for Ilhan. So, like in Turkey's fast-growing short drama market, how do you balance the pressure for speed, cost efficiency, and storytelling quality? What challenges are unique to Turkish market, comparing here to some other emerging markets that you work with?
Okay, I think there should be a distinction between the local content and the content that is being produced for the US market, or international markets. We've been producing for the North American market for the past 2 years, and there's only two big scale international producers in Turkey right now, which the other one is one of our co-producers. But the Turkish short drama series are recently being adopted, and there are local Turkish series being developed for Turkish audiences and Turkic countries at the same time. And at the same time, if we divide the short drama and the film and classic dramas, Turkey is second or third largest film exporting country in the world. So if you go to the States, the Europe, or Russia, or anywhere in the world, that you're gonna see people are watching Turkish series and learning Turkish from Turkish series as well. And with this, I believe there's differences in practice when it comes to Turkish productions and international other countries' productions, which we worked with a co-production company in Prague, in Lithuania, and in the UK, in the US in the past 2 years, which we learned from each other. But I believe that this short drama industry right now has a lot to learn from Turkish storytelling and Turkish practices when it comes to producing drama series. And when it comes to challenges, um, uh, and like using the opportunity of this platform, I would like to say that one of the biggest bottlenecks is that most of the international producers and platforms does not know the environment in Turkey, and in our recent production back in March, we had I had like a couple phone calls with the managers from the States, whether they were asking, we were seeing the missiles up in the air because of the Iranian dispute, which we have like 2,000 kilometers between Istanbul and the Iranian border, which is impossible to see, and it's impossible to be affected from it. Um, so, and other than that, every actor that we brought to Istanbul in the past 2 years, they've like posted stories that they want to move to Istanbul. I believe we have very fun productions when it comes to producing series because as a creative producer, I believe in team building and the welfare of the team while producing the content is very important at the same time, which sadly I have heard like couple bad experiences that happened from international producers in order to reduce the cost. So it's very important to balance the speed, the cost efficiency, and storytelling, like you asked, in while focusing on the welfare of the content, welfare of the platform, and welfare of the teams. And I believe this is what something we do very good as a Turkish production company.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And by the way, I have also a small question. So, how much time do you need, like, approximately to create like a whole new series, like maybe a
Um,
season?
we have 10 writers that we've been working in the past 2 years, and additionally new ones right now. We're developing new premises every week, like 10 to 15. And but for a span of one IP, we take 3 to 5 weeks in order to develop a script, but we develop scripts simultaneously with different writers. And then we do 2 weeks of pre-production, 6 or 7 days of shoot, and then between 3 weeks to 5 weeks of post-production until delivery. And we do a 360 production, developing all the series and delivering it to the platforms with photo shoots, deliverable marketing contents, and anything that they need actually.
Yeah, it's very high efficient, like content production system, so to say. Yeah, so thanks a lot, or teşekkürler. Here, I'm also learning Turkish, not from short drama, but still. Yeah, so let's move next and ask Pankaj, because I do believe that he has a lot of insights on the market as well. So, from social media's perspective, how is user acquisition evolving as the short drama industry matures globally? And what key differences do you observe across regions such as Europe, India, and Southeast Asia?
Uh, sure. I was just listening to Ilhan, and I am very much agreed. Uh, and just a context. Uh, in India, I mean, not Deccan, but Dukan, a very similar pronunciation for the shop. So I mean, we have similar sort of elements. So probably you can look for the Indian market as well. I see we have some content that can go aligned with our culture. So very interestingly, I mean, some of the points that I've been listening, that yes, localization is really important because what as Inan said, something that is very regular and very common in any specific country, maybe Turkey or somewhere in Europe, overall in Europe, may not be easily accepted in probably some other parts of the world. So it's not just using the translation or using transcribe the content and put any sort of voice without any understanding of the modulation or the actual culture, how they talk. I mean, if you do this, probably for very first time, it may work for someone, but on the longer run, I think this kind of episodes will not leave the users on your platform for a long time. There can be some global contents. For example, from Europe itself. I mean, globally. I mean, globally, we just have one James Bond. We all understood. We all have seen him, and we accept him the way he is, the kind of energy he has. Probably he has different lifestyle than ours, but we still admire him. So there can be some content that can be for the global audiences, Whereas most of the audiences are now demanding for the more localized content because uh, they have been into micro drama phase for probably last 2 or 3 years very actively. There's very great competition in the content itself. You be it in any category, you see the top dramas and you will see very interesting, fine, interesting stories shooted with very good quality cameras and very good direction and everything. And even once the series is completed, they have also left a room to build a next part of it. So I mean, it is no different than we used to see in the OTTs or maybe in some movies as well, when we have seen the sequels. So we have a room for it. Something which has really been worked probably in some major countries, we can of course test it. From the bigger players perspective, how they do it, they probably get a very good clip with very good hook, and they can do like maybe 12, 15, or 20 or more variation, and they just test it on different platforms like Meta or YouTube Shorts or TikTok for that matter. And anything that is more engaging, I mean, that is giving them a hint. I mean, this is the point wherein people are actually engaging, and now we have to probably iterate more copies related to it and leave the other part. So therefore, the top advertisers that we see for one single content or one single show, they probably have like 50,000 creatives in all. I mean, they have tested probably 2,000 worked really well for them, but they tested a lot. So it's not that they are testing so many creatives, they are not publishing so many creatives, but they are testing so many creatives. They are finding what have been working, and they can probably do the more iteration for the related content as well as for the creatives. From the Europe perspective, I mean, you guys said very rightly, uh, the CPMs are like really high. I mean, in the region, people have more choices to see. I mean, they are more towards their own content. They need something which is aligning with their own interest. Uh, the other one that you mentioned, India. I mean, we have a Europe in India itself. I mean, we have different languages, different regions. People are talking in different languages into different regions. So our story is different within India. I think we have a premium model is more popular as of now. Subscription are coming in the way. People have been testing, but in comparing to Europe, I mean, our audiences are very different. I mean, we are more open to see the West cultures as well. We have different languages. English is one of the main language. I mean, most of the people do understand, specifically to like the major cities. Uh, and localized content from English or any other language is also accepted. For example, K drama became very hit even before the micro drama came into picture in India. So we are more welcoming towards the global content. So I think it is one of the market, and being the most populated country in the world, where I think 60% people are young and everyone has the handphones, and I think it's a huge market to discover. And players within India itself, they are just trying India first. So I think this is my take on it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Unfortunately, we have some comments that it is hard to hear you, Pankaj. So if you can change maybe your microphone for the next questions here, that will be very, very cool. So, and I also have another question just for everybody who is with us today on the panel. So I believe we have some viewers today on our meeting that are also planning to enter the market of short drama. So, if you could give just one piece of advice to a short drama company trying to succeed in the next stage of the industry, so what would it be? So, who would like to start?
Okay, if you want.
Yeah, please.
Okay. My main advice is simple. Do not just copy what work elsewhere. Um, innovate, take risk, and build your own identity. I would also like to see more cooperation between French, European, and Chinese professionals. Local adaptation is essential. Good ideas must fit local cultures and audience expectations. We need strong stories and memorable characters. Technology will also play an important role. Artificial intelligence will help reduce costs and improve some production processes. But technology should remain a tool that serves creativity. Viewers still respond strongly to the dramatic or comic journeys of real actors they can relate to. When we move toward AI-generated animation, we enter a different space. It becomes more about imagination and fantasy. It is a different experience. We should not lose touch with viewers who are looking for empathy. Empathy, I don't know if you say that,
Right,
and
right.
and who remain fascinated by humans' performance. Audience connect with first emotion. Audience connect first with emotions. Sorry, we can see this in festival across France. There is a real attachment for actors. People identify with them and admire them or as real individuals. In my opinion, that remains the most valuable asset in the entertainment industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I believe it was a very, very good advice. So, and who would like to continue?
Yeah, so I would like to share my thoughts around this same. Like this is something most of the people is asking me also. Like when I was and starting my own company and coming out from a company which is already established and doing really well in microdrama space, the same question I always had in my mind as well. So one thing which I found myself is that even though the microdrama platforms are evolving, there are thousands of drama platforms out there. There is still a high number of scope to explore further because right now the major problem all these platforms is facing retention, user retention, because they can easily acquire user via just a couple of ads. They can acquire the users. Maybe user might pay for the content as well, but retaining the users will be a hard bottleneck for anyone. Even Netflix also faced the same kind of a problem in their early stage, and they fixed that with the habit creation, because the OTT consumption is a new habit for anyone out there at the time, and the same thing is happening for microdrama as well. When we when we forcefully put a habit to a person, they won't adapt it. But right now the habit creation is already happening with the various platforms coming to the market, and they are creating new content and bringing user to the platform. So if anyone is newly wanted to enter this space, they need to bring something new to the users, which is, I would say, some kind of points out there is already in discussion and in development for a lot of platforms, which is gamification or the interactive storytelling, which is also highly adapting to by various platforms. For an example, Drama Waves out there. So Drama Wave is a platform which is actually right now rapidly scaling, comparing with Reel Shot or Net Shots, because they introduce something new to the market with AA and their highly talented gamification method, which is driven by their parent company Kunlun Tech, which most of you know that because they are the one who developed Opera browsers. So they know how this interactive storytelling can be done properly with the gamification. So that is where the new change happening for the industry as well. So if you wanted to capture the market and if you wanted to capture the user, especially who can retain your platform for longer time, go for the content which will plays a crucial role to retain the user for a long form, like I would say long term validity with the your product or whichever you're developing. So that is where the change will happen. I'm personally thinking that the retention is a major bottleneck, which if you're able to crack, you will be able to succeed in the highly competitive industry as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So, Ilhan, what do you think?
I definitely agree, Sanuf and Guillaume, at most of the parts. But what Guillaume said and underlined it was that don't copy other working content and create your original ideas. Um, I would like to say that at the same time, I believe the platforms, like while building a new industry, it needs a new system as well, and a more improved system as well. So, like Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney has an established producer system that has been working for the past 10, 15 years. And in this 10 years that this established producer system that they worked with their own established producers and they produce series with them. And even though Netflix is defining themselves as a data company, there's very lacking of feedback when it returns to the producers. So I believe the biggest opportunity in short drama is that the feedback loop is very short. That's why in the first question I said direct distribution in order to shorten the feedback loop of the series that are being produced. So the both I believe the platforms need to give more data back to the producers in order to create more series that are more engaging and retention hooking. So instead of copying the same system of the traditional OTT platforms, short drama platforms needs to shorten the feedback loop and share the feedbacks with the producers as well and create new testing grounds. So my piece of advice would be to have for both the producers and the people that is going to develop their own platforms is that to create a shorter feedback loop and create a better relationship with the producers and the platforms. And see that every film in the app is a sub-product might drive a spike in retention every time they release a content. And it's very important to analyze it with the producer after it's being released and starting on a new project. And for sure, as a classic answer, sustainable team building, both in operations and creative, finding good stories, and teams that could build the worlds in an efficient way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks a lot. And Pankaj, so what do you think? What would be your advice?
Sure. I mean, I was listening to all of these guys, and I believe that now I have more advices, and probably I can discuss with our clients. So, from our perspective, I mean, we are more focused on user acquisition and the creative aspects to it. Though we totally understand the retention should be, I mean, priority for most of the apps now, because we have gone past that phase wherein we were thinking that whether or not this format will work. We all know, and we have seen, and we are all excited because a lot of big players, even some big movie production houses are also jumping into this field. So we all know that okay, this is here to stay. From the creative perspective, I mean, we can have some suggestions probably because most of the creatives are now the videos. Of course, it is to make awareness in the audiences that what is there for you to watch. People have a gist, but along with this, I mean, as Sanup said, there has to be some more engaging content wherein people can uh, feel more personalized message for them. So probably a combination of user generated content along with maybe some PGC, probably uh, maybe they can use some influencer watching an episode and kind of create a hook wherein they both like one or two influencers are talking and talking about a show, and then they can create kind of urgency wherein people can actually see what they have been talking about. So this kind of creative element, I think we will look forward and going to increase its volume. Some advertisers or some apps have already tested it, and we have recently seen it is working for them. So I think on the creative aspects, people may or may not see only the first episode as a hook, and we will have more creative ways to have people engaged into the app. So this is what I believe that people should also iterate in their upcoming campaigns.
Yeah, I completely agree with you here. And I will also give just a one piece of advice here, because for every app founder at Short Drama World, it is very, very important to be very well founded with smart capital. And yeah, just don't forget that Braavo can help you here with user acquisition financing, with structured credit lines and etc. Because I do believe that producing new content requires a lot of resources, not only like creative resources, human resources, but also the capital resources. So I see that we have a lot of questions here, and I would be very, very happy to go to our chat. And I also encourage everybody to be more active in terms of asking the questions for our experts. So first of all, yeah. So there is a question from Iran. He says that some say that microdrama market will be like TV with few leading platforms. Others say that it will be like gaming, many platforms. So what do you actually see? Like, what do you actually think?
I guess I already answered that question from my end. It's a mix
Mhm.
of both. It's need to be more gamified or interactive storytelling in the upcoming days. I'm personally looking forward that because the content is already repeating again and again. So people might prefer a storytelling in a way like they wanted to do. So that kind of interactive storytelling might be a new option. I'm thinking in a way how microdrama will evolve from my point perspective.
Mhm. Mhm. So maybe somebody else wants to dwell here.
Yeah. Um, I think the tech companies need to adapt more of the media company understanding in order to differentiate this and have more sustainable growth in the future. And we do have a term that we use hyper casual streaming for short drama, and which is mainly that to differentiate the mobile gaming industry and the short drama market right now is that instead of being in an office and developing through the computers, sometimes these app companies and tech companies needs to go out and experience live action shoot film sets at the same time in order to more understand how the perspective, how this production being made. Because sometimes when it comes to bug fixing or in technical development, you may add 3 or 4 more people in order to create more efficiency in a shorter time. But when it comes to film sets, if you add 2 or 3 more people, sometimes might lower.
Oh,
So
Ilhan, I
there's
believe
a very
the internet was a little bit lacking, but here
yeah.
it's better now. Mhm.
Okay, I almost finished my answer, so no
Yeah.
worries.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot. So, does anybody else want to dwell here, or we can move forward to the next question?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so yeah, so let's move forward. So, also, Saumi says that the majority of industry is surviving on autopay mode. So, what are your thoughts on this?
So I guess he might comparing with the Indian market because the auto pay is a feature which is actually quite discussed in Indian market. It's not entirely true because auto pay is already available in major OTT platforms as well. When you are entering your card details, monthly basis, the amount will be debited. It's a business model which is not even like a dark pattern, I would say. Entirely the platforms are adapting, but there are a lot of things happening across microdrama also, which is scam apps are getting developed by various players, and they are using the content of other top players to take money of the people. So this is something which is happening, but most of the times right now, this habit creation is once established, people will pay for the content. So the pay-per-view kind of a model is also working across the globe, which is like very evident that not just auto pay, people are paying for the content. So I'm disagreeing with that opinion. Like entire industry is developing and it's exploring a lot of new options as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so does anybody else want to speak about autoplay?
Since it is like very,
Um, I think, please.
I'm sorry. Okay, so since it is very like yes, Indianized term, so autopay, like we have seen in the last few years, like we all have been putting our credit cards onto different apps, and we are quite comfortable about it. But most of the micro drama apps, I think they are promoting microtransactions. I mean, this is kind of liberty to one user. I mean, you don't have to be with us for a long time, even if you just watch one series. So I think it is one of the healthy way to make a habit, and once they build the habit, they build the trust on your app, they will like the content, probably. I mean, they would not hesitate to go for a longer term. So I think it is best to start with the microtransaction and have them their own space wherein they actually build the trust as well as interest in your app, and probably then you have the more long-term user already.
Yeah,
Please go ahead,
definitely.
Ella.
I think subscription will be the future because we can see cinema movies and short drama in the metropolitan. And I think in Occident, when you have a big platform like Netflix or Amazon Prime coming in Duanju format, he can propose to subscription the Duanju format. I think the future is subscription. Just what I want to say.
Yeah, thanks.
Um, I believe there's a couple different solutions to this problem. Focusing on different revenue funnels, like brand partnerships, product placements inside the series, because actually these are like being produced between the budgets of like 150K to 250K, and it's sometimes like two or three commercials to be shot for like 20 seconds, which you get a content of 80 minutes for the same cost. So it's very beneficial for the brands at the same time. Real Short did a couple tries on having brand placements on their series, but it's not more than five until right now. So, and there's web streaming, there's ad revenue, there's subscription revenue, there's micro monetizations. And at the same time, we've been producing multi-format series that we are delivering episodic vertical ones, episodic horizontal ones, and one 80 to 90 minutes horizontal copy for TV watching as well, or other to be streamed on other platforms. So content needs to be monetized from different revenue funnels so that it shouldn't depend on one revenue or like revenue model or a monetization strategy.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, and we have two more questions, so let's be quite quick here. We have a question about which direction the content is moving in. So, are we seeing more regional stories, or are we following the Chinese microdrama playbook, where language is not the main barrier and visual storytelling becomes the biggest hook? So, who would like to answer this one?
Uh,
I
if
can
anyone,
go. Um, I believe the content is growing across multilingual short drama content, not just the American ones or the Chinese ones, but series that the actors have different accents and different languages. We see that Emily in Paris is a very big success on Netflix, and at the same time, Squid Game is a very big success on traditional OTT platforms. The short drama has I think there's a larger playground to have multilingual productions and series.
Yeah, thanks. So, and we have one last question that goes directly to Sanup. So Rohit is interested what Sanup thinks about hyperlocal original content for the Indian audience. Focusing on dialects can give a new flavor to the viewing experience, but the bottleneck is the TAM is going to be smaller. So how would you elaborate here?
So I guess it's already explored by a lot of new players right now. Like they are trying out with a dialect and regional based content and mix of cultures also people are trying. As Pankaj mentioned, India is a Europe itself, like basically because wide variety of like regional contexts are there, languages are there. So there are a lot of like experiments going on where like North Indian like families coming to South India and they're exploring the culture kind of a format content is there. So this is universally accepted thing and dialect or any other terms won't be playing any role unless the screenplay is very tight and it's having a lot of emotional connecting factors in it. It's a very proven thing. Even we know like Rocky as a series which is widely people consumed across the globe, even though Sylvester Stallone's accent is little Italian. It won't be a matter even the people dialects or anything. I personally prefer that the ultimate player will be dominating the market with the proper content strategy, like how Netflix created that buzz. Even Squid Game itself is universally appeal to everyone because it has the elements which we all know. Even the culturally it's different. That elements is still there. So that kind of elements need to be injected, like focusing on career, focusing on family relationship, or focusing on tragedies and people overcoming it. And new format also need to be explored a lot because as I think Pankaj has mentioned that as well, there are now creators itself posting micro dramas on their YouTube or Instagram channels. So people are eagerly waiting for the next episodes and they are exploring crime thriller and other areas as well. So which will be also explored by micro drama players. I'm strongly believing in that as well.
So yeah, and Rohit also asks, are you saying that town won't be contained because the dialect curation alone?
Yeah, like as I mentioned, TAM won't be a problem because everybody wanted to consume new variety of content. It won't be a specifically to any particular TAM unless you are making a content which is into like very narrowly targeting a set of users only. The content right now, every writer or every producer is focusing how to become this content as a universal content. So that's where the writing play a crucial role. If you're writing a content properly which will appeal for everyone, but the dialect or the main character is coming from maybe Turkey or maybe coming from France or anywhere, it won't be matter. The connectivity is a matter of fact, I would say.
Okay. So, yeah, so it is very, very interesting, and I suppose it was quite insightful for the whole audience. We're already running late, so I believe it is time for us to say big thanks to everybody who participated, especially to our brilliant speakers, to everybody who watched. I do believe like we shared all the important information for you to build like the new chapter of short drama industry. So if you have any more questions, I believe everybody from the speaker side will be very happy to answer on LinkedIn or just anywhere where it is convenient for you. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, everyone.
much.
Take care.
So,
Bye
thank
bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.